Good morning. I've just spent a lot of money, and the angry secretary's finally done with the paperwork. I couldn't wait for a good deal any longer, so I went for that red Massey Ferguson. Cost me nearly $100,000, but I really needed a stronger tractor if I'm going to make any real progress on this farm. Now I've got something that should last me for years to come. Just look at this beast. Of course, it was a bit sad to let go of good old Swifty, but the store owner promised to sell her as is, not tear her apart and sell her piece by piece. Anyway, it's still pretty early in the morning, but I'm done at the store and heading back to get started. I actually got there right when they opened at 7, even before the angry secretary, just to sort out the deal before anyone else showed up. So yeah, not a bad way to start the day, with a shiny new toy. Keeps me motivated, because today's work is a bit tedious. The plan is to continue what I started yesterday, clearing that area for the next field. There are still plenty of trees left, and all the stumps as well. The new tractor can actually handle a stump grinder, so if I can afford one, I might even start removing those today. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You won't believe what just happened. I'd just finished selling a load of timber when Seaman called me and said a proper powerhouse of a tractor had come up for sale. Just look at this thing. It literally showed up 2 hours after I spent all my money on the new one. You're telling me the angry secretary didn't know about this? She could have said something. This feels terrible. I paid more for that 170 horsepower Massey Ferguson than they're asking for this one, and this thing is both faster and stronger. That's just ridiculous. If I'd just listened to Seaman. You know what? I'm not going to think about it. I'll just end up getting depressed thinking about it. So what's the point? It is what it is. Alright, I'm still a bit wounded, but more money coming in from timber definitely helps. I just checked the price of that stump grinder I need, and it's around $25,000. Pretty expensive to be fair, but I can't really make any more progress without one, so I'll just have to pay what they're asking. I am a bit worried though. Once I've cleared the property, the income from timber is gone. And after paying for the stump grinder, there won't be much left in the balance. Could have had a bit more if the angry secretary hadn't ripped me off this morning. Alright, let's see how this thing works. Just need to find a stump first. The smaller ones aren't that easy to spot. Alright, stump's gone, along with a bit more than just the stump. But yeah, it seems to be working. Alright, I think I've managed to remove most of the stumps now. Looks like a mole's gone completely wild out there. Moles are actually one of the few animals I like, so I wouldn't mind having one or two on the property. I haven't removed the stumps from the fields yet. Figured I'd wait until November, once I'm done with the third cut. I don't want to risk affecting the yield, so I'll keep that stump grinder away from the fields until the season's over. Anyway, I think I'll spend the rest of the day clearing more trees. There are still quite a few left, and silage season starts next month, so I won't have much time for clearing land after that. Alright, I'm coming in with the final load for the day. I've managed to get the balance back above 25 grand. Not too bad considering how much I've spent this month. A new tractor and a stump grinder were both top priorities, but I still need that combo baler and wrapper. First cut's just around the corner, so I definitely won't have it ready by then. But maybe I can get it in time for the second or third cut. As soon as I've got that baler wrapper sorted, I'll have to start thinking about saving up to buy more land. The area I'm clearing will give me a bit more usable space, but it's not ideal. It's pretty uneven with a few bumps here and there, so I'm still not entirely sure what I'm going to do with it. Anyway, I'm calling it a night. Got a long day tomorrow, so I'll need a good night's sleep. Good morning. I had the alarm set for 5 o'clock to get an early start, but I ended up snoozing for 45 minutes. Anyway, the fields are ready to cut, and this time it's grass I've planted, fertilized, and taken proper care of, with help from the Weed Father's Handbook of Silage Production. So hopefully I'll end up with more bales than last season. Last year, I managed around 80 bales from the second cut, so that's the number I want to beat. I'm also hoping the whole process will be a bit more efficient this time, now that I've got proper fields that are easier to work than the rough grassland I had last year. So the goal today is to turn both fields into wrapped bales before I call it a day, which means I've brought coffee and lunch with me to eat while I work. Last season I sold bales for pretty much exactly 100 grand, but that was from 2 cuts. This year I'm going for 3, and hopefully with better yield as well. So I'm thinking at least 150 grand. Anything lower than that would be disappointing. The money from the bales will go into buying more land, but I'm not sure yet if I want to expand silage production or try something else. Ideally, I'd like something that brings in money throughout the year, just to cover the running costs. Selling bales for one big payday in January is great for investments, but I also need money coming in month to month, especially once I run out of timber, which, to be fair, will probably happen this season. I'll have to think a bit more about the next steps once I'm done with the first cut. Alright, I'm almost done raking the grass. I started mowing just after 6, and it's nearly 12 now, so everything's taken about 5.5 hours. I've basically been sitting in my new Massey Ferguson all morning, eating salmon wraps and chocolate. So I don't really need a lunch break. I'm going straight into baling. The fields felt pretty good though. Straight, easy to work with, and plenty of space to turn. Only issue is those stumps. They did a bit of damage to the mower. Felt like the blades were getting dull after a while. Didn't really cut properly towards the end. More like it was tearing the grass. I do wonder if there's some kind of machine that can cut and row the grass at the same time. Like a combo baler, but for mowing and raking. I'll have to ask Seaman about that at the next meat and milk gathering. Imagine having that. And a baler wrapper. That would bring silage production down to 2 operations instead of 4. Another thing, I've been thinking about what to do with the area I'm clearing, and I think I've decided I want one big field covering the whole area, and then place the storage buildings and chicken coop on the new plot I'm planning to buy in January. Anyway, let's turn all this grass into bales. Alright, I'm done baling. I have to say, I'm a bit surprised. I usually spend at least 6 hours on the baling, but today I got it done in just 4.5. That's actually a bit worrying. If it took me 6 hours to make 80 bales last time, how many could I have possibly made in 4.5? Maybe that Weed Father silage guide is another scam, just like the angry secretary. Not sure I can handle another setback right now. Then again, it could be the fields. It definitely felt more efficient working on proper fields compared to that rough grassland I had last year. Well, I'll know once I've counted the bales, hopefully later today. But I can't be bothered counting them before everything's wrapped and stored properly. Just imagine if I had that combo baler and wrapper. I'd be done by now. Could have spent the evening in the woods, clearing the area for the new field. I checked the price. It's around 85 grand, so I'd need another 60. Not sure I can afford that before I get paid for the bales. I'd probably have to sell around 15 loads of timber to make up the difference, and I'm not sure there are enough trees left on the property. But if I buy a new combo baler, I could sell the baler and wrapper I've got now. They're probably worth somewhere between 15 and 20 grand, which means I'd only need another 45 or so. There might actually be that much timber left. I'll know once I'm done clearing the field. I'm not planning the second cut before September, so there's a chance I could have the combo baler by then. Alright, I'm done wrapping all the bales from the largest field. It's already 7:30, so I'm not going to finish before it gets dark. But I'm quite used to working in the dark by now. There have been plenty of days where I've gone on until midnight. I don't really prefer it though. I like having a few hours in the evening to relax, have a beer, watch some sports, and plan the next day. But when I'm out here until midnight, I basically go straight from the tractor to bed, and I do find that a bit stressful. Looks like today might be one of those days. Alright, I'm just about to wrap the last bale. I spoke to Seaman about an hour ago, told him how I ended up with the red Massey Ferguson instead of the one he recommended. He wasn't very impressed with my impatience. Oh, and he also told me the angry secretary is his cousin. That's how he knew about that tractor that came up for sale. I'm just glad I didn't call her the angry secretary when I spoke to him. Anyway, I told him I was planning to spend 85 grand on a combo baler, but he suggested I upgrade my bale wagon first, now that I've got a tractor strong enough to pull heavier loads. Said it's a much cheaper upgrade than a new baler, and that it'll save me a lot of time for the money. So this time, I'm actually going to listen to Seaman's advice. Alright, I've got a new bale wagon. I paid 21 grand for it, but I sold the old one for around 8, which helped cover some of the cost. Still, I've nearly spent all my money. I'm down to about 14 grand now. Haven't been this low in months. But at least I've got a batch of bales. That'll add to the balance in January. I do wonder how many bales I can fit on this new wagon. The old one could handle 10. Let's find out. All right. I'm glad I listened to Seaman this time. Finally, a good investment. The wagon can carry 28 bales. Just imagine how much time and fuel that saves, especially hauling them into town. I haven't counted how many I ended up with. I think I'll do that tomorrow, in daylight. I'm just too exhausted. Started at 6 this morning. So I've spent far too much time in the tractor today. Looking forward to spending some time with the chainsaw tomorrow. Good night. See you tomorrow.